If your erections have become weak, unpredictable, or even non-existent, I want you to hear this loud and clear. It's not your fault. And more importantly, it's not the end. Because what I'm about to share with you has helped thousands of men over 60 revive their energy, reclaim their performance, and restore strong, natural erections without relying on pills, pumps, or embarrassment. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience working with older men across America. I've sat across from truck drivers, retired veterans, teachers, and grandfathers, men just like you, who quietly suffered, believing their best days were behind them. And every time I gave them the same message, your body still works. It just needs the right support. But here's the shocking part. Most of these men weren't failing because of low testosterone or old age. They were failing because of one simple mistake in their diet. And when we fixed it by adding just 3 specific vegetables, they began experiencing firmer erections, renewed energy, and a sense of vitality they hadn't felt in decades. In this video, I'll walk you through those exact 3 vegetables, why they work, how to prepare them, and how to feel the difference in just 7 days. But I'm also going to reveal the single biggest mistake most men make and the powerful routine that could bring your body back to life. So stay with me. Your comeback starts now. Before we dive into these powerful solutions, take a moment to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss another science-backed health tip made specifically for men over 60. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. Your feedback helps me make content that truly supports your health and vitality. Let's begin with the first vegetable, one that's often underestimated, but holds the key to restoring blood flow, energy, and firm natural erections. This isn't just food, it's fuel for your circulation. Let me introduce you to what I call the circulation charger, beets. Beets, the circulation charger. I'll be honest with you. When I first started recommending beets to my older male patients, I got a lot of strange looks. Beets, doc? Really? But within a week or two, those same men would come back with a different expression on their face. Surprise, and sometimes a quiet smile, because something had changed. Their energy had returned. Their blood pressure was lower, and their erections were stronger, more spontaneous, more dependable. All from a simple root vegetable they'd ignored for years. You see, beets are nature's circulation charger. They're rich in nitrates, natural compounds that your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens your blood vessels. When blood flows more easily, it reaches everywhere it needs to, including the penis. Without healthy circulation, even normal testosterone won't help. Erections are, at their core, a blood flow event. One patient of mine, Raymond, 68, had nearly given up. He said, "Doc, I'm too old, nothing works." I asked him to give me just 10 days. I told him to add half a cup of cooked beets to lunch every single day. That's it. No pills, no awkward treatments. A week later, he called my office and said, "I don't know what kind of magic you're practicing, but my wife and I are both smiling again." Beets also help cleanse the blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and support heart health, things every man over 60 needs. But the key is consistency. Roasted, steamed, or blended into a smoothie, find a way to enjoy them and make them part of your daily rhythm. The results won't just show up in the bedroom. They'll follow you throughout your day in the form of clearer thinking, more energy, and greater confidence. And here's something else most men don't realize. When you combine beets with certain other vegetables, the effect multiplies. There's one vegetable in particular that helps soften the arteries, improve blood sugar, and reduce stiffness throughout the body, especially where it matters most. Most men don't even know it helps performance at all. But once you understand how it works, you'll never look at it the same way again. Let's take a look at the second powerhouse vegetable and why it may be the missing piece in your performance puzzle. If you're still here and these insights are resonating with you, drop the number 1 in the comments so I know you're still with me and taking this seriously. Now, let's keep going and dive into the second vegetable that could make a real difference. 2. Eggplant, the artery softener. Now, let me tell you about a vegetable that rarely gets the credit it deserves. Eggplant. When most men think of it, they think of pasta dishes or forgettable sides. But when I look at eggplant, I see one of the most overlooked weapons in the fight for better circulation and stronger erections. I'll never forget a patient named Harold, 72 years old, who came to me after a heart scare and years of struggling with performance. He told me, "Doc, I feel like my body's slowing down, my chest, my drive, even down there." What struck me most was not just his frustration, but how defeated he sounded. So we started simple. I asked him to bake eggplant slices twice a week, drizzle them in olive oil, and eat them with a lean source of protein. He raised an eyebrow but agreed. 3 weeks later, Harold sat in my office with a different tone. "I don't know what's in that purple stuff," he said, "but I feel younger, lighter, more alive." Eggplant is packed with antioxidants like niacin and chlorogenic acid. These compounds help protect and repair the inner lining of your arteries, reducing stiffness and buildup. Think of it like clearing out an old clogged pipe. Suddenly, the pressure evens out and everything flows smoothly again. And when blood flows better through your heart, your brain, and yes, your penis, you feel it in every part of your life. It also supports blood sugar control and lowers inflammation, two silent enemies of male performance. Most men don't realize that elevated glucose or low-grade inflammation can slowly chip away at their ability to perform, even when everything else seems fine. Eggplant helps stop that decline in its tracks. Just like beets, it's not about eating huge amounts. It's about being consistent. Bake it, roast it, grill it, just don't fry it. Combined with healthy fats like olive oil, it becomes a simple yet powerful tool for softening arteries and restoring confidence. But here's the part that truly excites me. When you pair the circulation benefits of beets with the artery softening power of eggplant, you're building a strong foundation. Yet there's one more piece to complete this triangle. A leafy green that doesn't just help your blood flow, but also speaks directly to your testosterone. It's the secret ally most men never think to use, and it might just change everything. 3. Spinach, the testosterone ally. When men ask me, "Doc, is there anything I can eat to boost my testosterone?" I usually pause and smile because most of them expect me to say steak or supplements or some kind of exotic powder. But more often than not, I point them to something they've walked past 100 times at the grocery store: spinach. I know it doesn't sound exciting. It's not flashy, but this leafy green is quietly one of the most powerful allies an aging man can have, especially when it comes to energy, drive, and testosterone. Spinach is rich in magnesium, zinc, folate, and plant-based nitrates. And those nutrients do something special. They help your body unlock free testosterone, the kind your body can actually use to improve performance, mood, and muscle tone. One patient I think about often is Walter, a 66-year-old retired Army sergeant. He was disciplined in every part of his life except his energy. He told me, "I'm doing everything right, but I still feel flat. No spark, no drive, just going through the motions." I looked over his diet and noticed a big gap, very few greens. We started small. I had him add a handful of raw spinach to his breakfast smoothie and saute a cup in olive oil with garlic at dinner. That was it. By week 3, his energy had returned. He even joked, "My wife asked me what I was hiding in that blender." But it wasn't a magic pill. It was real food working with his body to wake things up again. Spinach also helps reduce cortisol, your stress hormone, which can block testosterone when left unchecked. And it supports prostate health, something every man over 60 should take seriously. The beauty of spinach is that it's versatile and easy to prepare. Blend it, saute it, toss it into eggs. It doesn't matter how you use it. What matters is that you use it regularly. Because when you combine spinach with the blood-pumping power of beets and the artery-softening strength of eggplant, you're not just improving your performance, you're restoring balance to your entire system. Now, here's something even more interesting. These 3 vegetables don't just work well on their own. When you combine them, they create a synergy that's far more powerful than any one of them alone. And in the next part, I'll explain why that combination may be the secret advantage most men have been missing all along. If you're still watching and finding this valuable, go ahead and type the number 1 in the comments, just so I know you're still here and taking it in. Now, let's keep moving forward with point number 4. Why these 3 vegetables work better together. Over the years, I've learned something powerful. True transformation rarely comes from one single change. It comes from the right pieces working together in harmony. That's exactly what I've seen with beets, eggplant, and spinach. Separately, they each support important aspects of male health. But when you bring them together, something remarkable happens. Think of it like building a fire. Beets strike the match. They improve circulation almost immediately, increasing blood flow where it matters most. Eggplant lays down the kindling. It softens your arteries and helps that blood flow travel with less resistance. And spinach? Well, that's the steady fuel. It builds hormone support from the inside out, keeping your testosterone active and your energy stable. On their own, each vegetable is useful, but together, they light a fire in your body that most men haven't felt in years. One of my longtime patients, Alan, 70, was the kind of man who had tried everything: supplements, prescriptions, even testosterone injections. Nothing seemed to last. He told me, "I feel like I'm patching holes in a sinking ship." So I stripped everything back and we started with food. Just these 3 vegetables, prepared simply, eaten consistently. Within 3 weeks, his blood pressure was down, his sleep had improved, and he quietly mentioned that his mornings were different. That was his way of saying things were working again without saying it out loud. I knew what he meant. What makes this combination special is how it supports the entire system. Your blood vessels, your hormones, your energy levels, they're all connected. When you nourish one, you support the others. But when you nourish all 3 at once, you create momentum. And once momentum builds, results often show up faster than expected. In the bedroom, yes, but also in the way you move, breathe, and think. But here's where many men go wrong. Even with the right foods in hand, they make one simple mistake that blocks their progress entirely. It's the #1 reason most older men don't feel the benefits they should, even when they're eating better. And I've seen it cost men their confidence, their energy, and their intimacy. In the next section, I'll tell you exactly what that mistake is and how to avoid it starting today. The #1 mistake most men make. This is something I wish I could shout from every rooftop because it's the one thing I see over and over again. Men finally start eating better. They add beets, they cook eggplant, they throw spinach in their smoothies, and still weeks go by with no real change. They start to think, maybe it's too late, maybe food just isn't enough. But it's not the food that's the problem, it's how they're using it. The #1 mistake I see most older men make is this: they treat food like medicine, not fuel. They expect instant results. They eat one salad and expect magic. And when that doesn't happen, they quit. But your body isn't broken. It's just been running on empty for too long. Healing, especially after 60, takes consistency. It takes patience. It takes belief. I remember a man named Dennis, 64 years old, who told me, "Doc, I've tried everything. Nothing sticks." When I asked him how long he'd given each change, he admitted, maybe a few days, a week tops. That's when I explained something I want you to hear too. The male body responds best to rhythm. Not intensity, not short bursts of effort, but steady, daily nourishment. That's how your hormones rebalance. That's how blood vessels repair. That's how real performance returns. Another mistake? Letting stress take over. I've seen cortisol, your stress hormone, silently sabotage progress even when everything else is right. That's why I always recommend pairing these foods with deep breathing, gentle movement, and a mindset of patience. Because when you give your body the space to respond, it almost always does. And finally, far too many men go it alone. They suffer in silence, thinking it's weakness to talk about energy, drive, or intimacy. But I'm telling you now, real strength comes from being willing to change, to learn, to show up for yourself even when the results aren't instant. That's the kind of man who thrives at 60, 70, even 80. Now that you know what mistake to avoid, let's put everything together. In the next part, I'll give you a clear and simple 7-day action plan. Not theory, not guesswork, just a step-by-step way to start feeling the difference in your body, your energy, and yes, your performance, starting this week. Your 7-day action plan. Now that you know what works and what to avoid, it's time to bring everything together in a way that's simple, doable, and real. Because the truth is, results only come when knowledge meets consistent action. So I want to give you a clear 7-day plan you can start using immediately. No guessing, no stress, just real food, a real routine, and a real chance to feel like yourself again. Start your mornings with momentum. Within 30 minutes of waking, drink a tall glass of water. And if you can, get a few minutes of sunlight or gentle movement, just walking or stretching. Then have a smoothie, half a cooked beet, 1 handful of raw spinach, a few frozen berries, and a little water or almond milk. That combination gives your blood vessels what they need to open up, and your hormones what they need to kick in. At lunch, aim for lean protein, chicken, fish, or even lentils, and a side of roasted beets or grilled eggplant. Use olive oil and herbs to bring flavor without sacrificing health. Keep it colorful and keep it simple. Dinner is where you end the day right. Make a warm plate of sautéed spinach, garlic, and olive oil. Add more eggplant if you enjoy it, or keep it light with soup or broth. The goal here isn't perfection, it's rhythm. What you do every day matters far more than what you do once in a while. If you're hungry between meals, reach for nuts, boiled eggs, or even a hard cheese. Just keep processed snacks off the table. And don't forget your mind. Spend 5 minutes each day breathing deeply, closing your eyes, letting stress melt away. You'd be surprised how much your body responds when your mind finally stops fighting it. Stick to this for just 7 days. Most men start feeling clearer, lighter, more alert by day 3 or 4. And some even begin to notice changes in the morning. Subtle at first, then unmistakable. This plan isn't hard, it isn't extreme, but it works because it supports your body where it matters most: blood flow, hormones, and healing. And when those 3 align, performance returns. Not as a miracle, but as a reflection of the care you're finally giving yourself. In the final part of this message, I want to leave you with something deeper, a truth I've seen time and again that may just change the way you see your body, your health, and what's truly possible in the years ahead. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you, not just for listening, but for choosing to care about your health, your energy, and your future. That choice alone puts you ahead of most. Too many men silently accept the slow decline that comes with age, believing there's nothing they can do. But you're here, and that tells me something powerful. You're not done yet. You're ready to feel strong again, to show up fully, to reclaim the parts of yourself that time and stress may have dulled. We started with the basics, the real reason why energy and performance tend to fade after 60. And we didn't chase gimmicks or quick fixes. We looked at food, real food that works with your body. Beets to open your blood vessels, eggplant to soften your arteries and improve circulation, spinach to help restore the testosterone and vitality your body still wants to produce. These 3 vegetables aren't magic, but they are powerful. And when you combine them, they create a synergy your body can feel within days. We talked about the #1 mistake most men make, not giving their body the time and rhythm it needs to respond. And we laid out a 7-day plan that's simple, sustainable, and proven. Because healing doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be consistent. And through it all, I've tried to speak not just as a doctor, but as someone who has seen this work for real men time and again. I've seen the look in a man's eyes when he walks in slouched and quiet and walks out taller, more sure of himself. I've seen marriages reignite, energy return, confidence rebuild. And it all starts with small choices repeated daily. So here's my final thought. You are not broken. You are not too old. You have not missed your window. You simply haven't given your body the right support until now. If you take these steps seriously, if you stay consistent, and if you believe even a little, you'll be amazed at what your body is still capable of. Your next chapter isn't behind you. It starts today, and I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way.